Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. Smoking. Samuel Gowth's Springtime Flake. Mostly because it's been sitting in my cabinet for more than a year. I'd had a bowl of it and I didn't think I was that impressed. And then I couldn't remember what it was that hadn't impressed me, so I thought, I'll smoke it. Quite a nice broken flake kind of presentation. And I think I can detect a topping on it, but it's really subtle. But it's something sweet. It's in that sort of like chocolate vein. That's what I'm going to say. Cocoa. It's not as... It's better than I remember. Whether Tilbury has kind of like trained my palate up to Virginia's a bit more, I don't know. But it's smoking very nicely. There you go. Not a tobacco review, but yeah, there's definitely something slightly aromatic in it that I'm not expecting. Right, so much to talk about today. So many odds and ends. If you join me on Monday for the first episode of Charles Dexter Ward, thanks, it was a huge success. I was really pleased. A bunch turned up, and so if you've seen the last couple of videos, you'll know I was wanting to do it as a live stream. But my tech or my connection wouldn't allow that to happen. So I did it as a pre-recorded vid. Well, as I was uploading it to publish, I noticed on the scheduling bit, I decided to schedule it, and it gave me the option to Premiere, which I'd never used before. So Premiere kind of gives me part of the function that I was looking for in the first place, which was a way to interact with each other while listening to the episode. So, every Monday, from last one to, and all the ones coming, I will air it as a premiere on Monday at 11 PM GMT, whatever that is, wherever you are. And so there will be a chat window and we can natter, which I thought was really nice. And then the video will stay up. And if you can't watch it at the premiere, that's fine. Just watch it when you can. But pleased me greatly that we can has that little chat window. So that was cool. I was just watching. Hi Daniel. I was just watching Daniel Mustran's latest video, 2-part video, and the bit that stuck out to me, being a pipe maker, was he talks about stains. Now, if you saw it on my shelves, I probably got just about every Phoebing's dye there is, plus some other substances. But certainly every Phoebing's dye. Sooner or later you pick them all up. It's just the way it goes. But it's true. After a while, you start honing in on the ones that you really enjoy, that you think work. And, Daniel, I'm very similar to you now. I mostly stick to the dark browns. They work for the high contrast. Yellow orange, I've used orange here and there as well. Green works well. And I have stayed away from the reds as well. It just seems to be the way it is. Interestingly enough, in the Phoebing's range, not all browns are equal. There is dark brown and there's the chocolate. The chocolate I've really been favouring. And it's a dark brown that leans into the red. Just a little. There's also cordovan, which is I would call it a neutral brown, in that it doesn't lean into, some browns lean into red, some browns lean into yellow, and some browns lean into green. Cordovan is neutral, and can be really good depending on the colour of the briar, because briar doesn't come all in the same colour either. Sometimes it can be a very pale yellow. Sometimes it can lean more into the orange. But definitely yellow has been my favourite top stain of late, with some orange. I guess that's just how it goes. I love green. I haven't used green in a little while. I'm not sure why. I'm going to show you a pipe, the shroom that's finished. And in the past, I would ordinarily do all my shrooms in green. But something in the back of my mind was saying, try the brown, orange, as a kind of like a fiery look, and see how that goes. So you'll see how it went. So yeah, just some interesting parallels. Resin. I have a little point to make about resin. Obviously, this is more for the pipe makers, but so I've been doing resin for 6 years, and I've played with, I'm pretty sure, just about most of them, and it becomes harder and harder to discover new looks, new directions to go in. So this announcement is more of a tease than anything else. I have just stumbled across something that, if it works, I've ordered the supplies. I'm not going to say much more than this. If it works, it could lead to some really fascinating stem material. Well, not material, a stem look. Unfortunately, it doesn't lend itself to the long rods. Some effects you can only do in like pen blank size. It's like way back when I was doing polyester. I've got one here. I did a Guinness blank. You see the effect. Well, you can only achieve this effect of fading into a colour over short blank length. You can't get it over half a metre. It doesn't work. You're looking for that effect to occur in a single stem, and so it has to occur in a single blank. This effect that I'm looking at is the same, so it'll have to be done as pen blank size, which means overall it's slightly more expensive. But if it works, I believe it will be worth it. Be more work on my part as well. But we'll see. Or maybe it'll be one of those things that I just wind up using myself. Who knows? But keep a weather eye. on the horizon. Let's show you my pipe. I've shown this shroom in a couple of videos, some, leading up to, as I was part way through this. So here's the final piece. So chocolate and orange. Rusticated through the stem and shank. This is my lime green Cumberland resin stem, so won't oxidise. Obviously, plateau rim with that wild curve through it. Quite slender. The grain is nicely prominent. Sandblast finish. Some evidence of ring grain there. Can you see what's going on? I'm trying to show you what's going on this section over here. I think it's about 7 inches long. I'm trying to remember the numbers that I wrote down now. Quite light for a piece like this. Most of my shrooms come in reasonably heavy, but this guy, I think it's 65 grams. Very pleased with him. Now, he's not a commission. He's just a pipe I've had the chance to make. And so he's available on the Etsy site. I'll put a link down. Shrooms, I don't make shrooms that often. And I hardly ever agree to a commission on them either. Because it's impossible. I mean, imagine someone said, can I have a pipe like this one? I mean, it can't be done. It can't be recreated. They are as they are. That's all I can say about them. But yeah, so he's not a commission. He's available on the site. So there you go. I'll be back to commissions now next week. That was a nice little break. I'll be having some new tobacco soon, which is nice. I want to say tobacco order. I did order it. And I'll be giving a shout out to the guy, you know who you are, who turned my order into a very lovely gift. So you're going to get a shout out whether you like it or not, one way or the other. But it means that I'm going to have some really nice, interesting reviews coming up. Certainly a couple of C&D blends. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember which ones, but I know that I was being drawn to a lot of burley blends this time. I know I was restocking my Peretti number 8 flake. I've done a review for that already, but certainly some C&D blends, and I can't remember what else I ordered. Brain like a sieve. And finally, I've taken some really interesting commissions. So I've taken 2 alchemist pipe commissions. That's the briar and resin fusion pipes. And so I'm going to try and show you part of the process of doing those, show you the pipes in different stages, because they are pretty unique. And I don't think anyone else does them. I think I'm right in saying that. So that will be a super interesting journey to take you all on. I think that's about it. All right, so for those who are around, next Monday, 11 p.m, Chapter 2, Charles Dexter Ward. We find more curious things afoot. All right, until next time, take it very easy. Play it very safe for now. That, chaps.